Hi everyone, I'm Don A, and here's my learning reflection from this semester's practicum class that I took. So, we will be discussing today a little bit about the class and the internship that I did. The projects I worked on, the ones that we originally planned out and the ones that popped up. And these are the big projects that I worked on. Concepts I learned from other classes that I saw during my practicum experience, skills that I've learned through this experience, and future ideas for projects to work on. And of course, my references for some of the things that I'm discussing today. So with the projects, we set up 3 projects on our contract before the semester started. And then there was 3 major projects that popped up throughout the semester that I also worked on. So I will first go through the contract stuff and then the other projects. So as a student worker at Arizona State University, I work in a tutoring center. And my site supervisor there had a tutoring website for the tutors where we could find all the important links we needed for work, any updates, important dates, and other information that we could use, like resources to help with tutoring, resources that we might be able to give out to students if we like them, also resources for professional development. So I really liked this idea and I wanted to bring it to Arizona Christian University. So I created a Google site. I was asked by my supervisor at Arizona Christian University to make a monthly newsletter with updates and more. So I would put in professional development, tutoring tips, updates, stuff about data, stuff about tutors to kind of get to know each other better. Next, I had to collect and analyze data from the center and prepare a report. So when my internship ended, it was at the end of their semester at Arizona Christian University. So to be able to do this part of the project that we laid out, I figured I'll do a midterm report. Alright. So during spring break, I made sure all of the data was up to date, and I analyzed it. And I made a report of tables and charts. That's what my supervisor asked me to do. And then another project that I actually brought to the table to do after we did the contract was making the department a paperless system. So how it worked at Arizona State University and the Arizona Christian University, sorry, not Arizona State. That's where I go to school. Arizona Christian University, if a student wanted to work with a tutor, they would request a tutor and then a tutor would be matched up with the student. And then they would work with the same tutor all semester. With this, they would come into an office, fill out a piece of paper, then the person in charge, and in this case it would have been me if we kept with this process, would have looked at the information, assigned the tutor, and then put everything in the computer. I wanted to streamline it a little bit because I wasn't working 4 hours a week like a professional full-time staff member would be. I was working 10 hours a week. So I made it into a Google form and so on. And I did this whole little system with Google Drive to help with the paperless system. Another thing I did was making training to train all the tutors under me how to tutor online. with the coronavirus as coming up, a lot of schools, including Arizona Christian University, decided to go to online learning to help with the spread of helping to stop the spread of the virus. So with this, our tutors need to start learning how to work with students online. Because some were staying on campus, and yes, they could still meet up if they were both on campus. But the students and some of the tutors decided to go home and not stay on campus. And then meeting with the tutors one-on-one. This was a project that I thought about core into the semester and met with them all after spring break. And it was to kind of see how they were adapting to the new processes and seeing how they were doing. And then with the coronavirus and going to online tutoring, I had a section where they would do a practice tutoring session with me to kind of see what it's like to tutor online without doing it in front of a student. So all went really well, I think. I feel like it did. So connecting to my other classes, I took a law class, finance class, an introduction, what was kind of more history of higher education, leadership, student development, and more. And here's what I kind of connected during my thing. So one of the big ones that I really saw was the student involvement theory by Aston. And this theory is saying that more the students are involved in school, better they will be. So the students that always seem like they had something going on because they were in sports and clubs and classes and tutoring and always seemed busy, those were the students that were able to keep their grades up, were effective tutors, and so on. And I feel like with their statistics online, they had better chances because they were still trying to stay involved with school. Where the students that didn't do so well were the students that really weren't tutoring, really wasn't involved with anything else, and was really focused on their classes. I understand why, but more involved a student is on campus, more they know what's going on, and more resources where they can get help and not feeling like they have to be by themselves. Another one is the secret theory. Again, I've got to see the old line of it, and one of the additional theories I remember, is it's a spiral. So we keep going through the same steps over and over, going up the spiral. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see people at 2 steps, since at different areas of the ladder. So with leadership, I came in to this wanting to help with being an adaptive leader, because there was so much changes happening and so much processes forming that I want to be able to help the students be adaptive and be that leader that helps them through the changes that was happening. With organizational theory, the one that kind of really clicked with me was emotional labor, because as a student worker, as a tutor, I put in so much emotion into what I'm tutoring. I really love the subjects I tutor her, and so when a session doesn't go well, it can be very frustrating. I learned through this process that emotional labor doesn't need to be so much a part of it. It still can be there, except for every position is different. So as a supervisor, I was more worried about the tutors, not the subjects or the individual students, but the tutors, being able to be a support for them, for they can be the front line to the students. Okay, some of the skills I learned. One was marketing. I love being creative, but the marketing part was something kind of new to me. So I was able to create flyers for our different services around campus, or for our different tutoring services. So being able to sit there and think about and have them all kind of have a similar look but be different because each surface is different, but kind of having that same theme of, oh, this is still from the same department. And also being able to advocate for change. Change. Going paperless, doing the Google Forms was something that I advocated for to my supervisor. One, I wanted to be more efficient for when I was actually there, and two, for it to be more efficient for her when I wasn't working with her anymore, or for the next person that comes in and helps her. There was already a process that's efficient. Could be more efficient, probably, but it was something that I advocated for. So after this class, I have one more semester, and that's working with my applied project. Some of the ideas that popped up throughout the semester that I could probably do for my applied project are these. One, is it more effective doing one-on-one tutoring with the same person every tutoring appointment for the semester, or doing a drop-in where you can work with multiple tutors throughout the semester? Sure. So it's the two different kinds of tutoring methods I've seen. The first one being the one from Arizona Christian University. The second one, the system how a Arizona State University's, well, their tutoring departments runs. Another one is how effective is tutoring for disability students, and how can we improve? And this one is more because I'm curious. As a student with a disability, I've had my good tutoring times and my bad, and all students have to have good and bad. But how can it be more efficient? How can we include everyone even more? And then how can our mindset change how effective tutoring is? So if someone's in a fixed mindset, is tutoring going to be effective? And if it is, how effective is it? If a person's in a growth mindset, how effective is it compared to a fixed mindset? And then making students go to tutoring help the student, or is it just wasting the tutors and senders' time and resources? Throughout my years as a tutor and working in multiple tutoring centers on different campuses, I've seen teachers require students to go to tutoring. I know my supervisor would request students to go to tutoring at ACU. So is it effective? Is it not? Something I noticed is the students that I feel at ACU that were being required to go by advising, their grades stayed where they were throughout the first half of the semester, where students who were requesting tutoring because they wanted this help, grades went up. So is it effective to have students go, or is it not? Something I would like to research more. So thank you for watching, and here's my resources for this project. Thank you and have a fun day.